For me, the biggest part of his campaign launch was calling for term limits for party or executives. And this is the eternal Johnson Aseidu Nketia, the eternal General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. And he has been there for 2006 till 9 as well. 2006 to 16 is 10, to 26 would have been 20. So you pull back, we are in what, 22 minus 4, 16 years. He's been there for 16 years. And he's calling for term limits. I'm totally shocked about this, but he did call for term limits. Let's hear him, however, in the first statement he made, talking about telling the delegates and the faithfuls today at the Kama Conference Center that they should vote for great leaders. Here is Johnson Aseidu Nketia. They said they should vote for good leaders.
For all their mismanagement and terrible governance, all of us know that the MPP is prepared to kill for power, as they demonstrated in Ayawaso West Wogon attacks and the callous murder of 8 innocent souls during the 2020 elections. In their arsenal is a deeply partisan electoral commission that believes their singular duty is to rig elections for MPP and emasculate all other political parties. The NDC must therefore be properly organized and have a leadership that exhibits untainted integrity, fearlessness, trustworthiness, proven temperament, selflessness, discipline, accountability, transparency, and emotional intelligence. Above all, we need a leadership that has the moral courage to stand up to the marauding MPP in the 2024 elections. The NDC needs a chairman who is not amenable to any influence, inducement, or compromise by any external force. Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, it is these qualities that I humbly bring to the table in the contest for the chairmanship position of our great party.
Johnson Aseidu Nketia, the eternal General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, talking up his qualities that he brings. I'm going to play you through the event, and after that, I'm going to bring in the gossip. Who were there, and why were they there, and how do we gauge Aseidu Nketia's positioning within the context of John Dramani Mahama based on the people who were at the event. So we'll get to that in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Wait for that. Let's, however, indulge Aseidu a little bit more. And after that, I'm going to play to you the 9 minutes video of what Kuko Anyidoho, speaking on the Kumasi radio station Kesben, said about Johnson Aseidu Nketia. And then we close Aseidu Nketia page. We wish him well on his campaign, but we're going to tell the NDC people what to ask their executives when they come to them for vote. The last time I said we'll say it, today we'll tell them. The single question to ask them, if they cannot produce an answer to that, don't elect them. Okay, all right, but you don't have to listen to me, do you? This is Johnson Aseidu Nketia again, talking about the reforms that he's advocating for the NDC party if he were to be elected chairman.
There is a whole raft of reforms that I would like to see implemented under my chairmanship and in conjunction with all stakeholders. This, I believe, will further strengthen the NDC and make it even more viable. The following will be some of the proposals and policy positions I will be bringing on board for consideration as national chairman. 1. It is true that I have been the longest serving general secretary of any political party in Ghana. But it is my view also that organizations need to grow and evolve as they do so. I think the time has come to consider the introduction of term limits for office holders in NDC, as this will help encourage participation of young people at the highest levels of the party and make office holders more accountable. 2, I would also propose a decentralized national congress to elect party executives, and as we have done with the flag bearer. I'll propose that they are, as a first step, held at the regional level, and then after testing the outcomes, held at constituency levels. The direct benefit of this is cutting down the astronomical cost of holding large national congresses with thousands of participants and the associated risks of traveling from far and near for such congresses. Special and well-structured party conferences devoid of campaigning can be held subsequently to discuss party constitutional and policy matters as well as matters of national interest. For many years, we've all known that the current mode of selection of party executives and candidates at all levels is too costly and unsustainable and has implications for governance when we come to power. For a mass-based organization like the NDC, there is an undeniable need for much broader participation by as many members of the party as possible and at the least possible cost. We cannot perpetually encourage the unsustainable expenditure associated with vying for positions in the party. It is for this reason that we attempted universal suffrage in 2015 primaries. Despite varying degrees of success and challenges during that attempt, it remains the best way to curb monetization and restricted participation in party primaries, and I will be tabling it for consideration as chairman of this party.
Very interesting reforms there sought by Johnson Aseidu Nketia. Let's go quickly to analyze whom were there at the event, and later on we will I just got some screenshots of President Mohammed's responses to the MP's removal of Setekpe. Just for bringing it back to you, I'll bring it back. So they're working on it when it's ready. Okay, back to Aseidu Nketia. Back to Aseidu Nketia now. Who and whom were at the event? Joshua Alabi is the first one. Now, what does Joshua Alabi represent? Joshua Alabi represents more of both sides of the NDC, grassroots and intellectual and all of that. You know, he's the brain behind the UPS, the University of Professional Studies. Joshua Alabi also ran for the presidency the other day for 2020, and he lost widely to John Dramani Mahama. Actually, Joshua Alabi came second, winning something like 3% of the votes or something like that. He came second, and he came second to John Dramani Mahama. They made a lot of peace together ahead of 2020 election, and he was named as a campaign manager of John Mahama's campaign. So if he shows up at Johnson Aseidu Nketia's event, then your bet is as good as mine. John Dramani Mahama appears to be in the corner of Johnson Aseidu Nketia. That's just how it appears. We don't know whether that's what it is, but that's how it appears right now, because Joshua Alabi was present at the event, and he is a blue blood John Mahama man right now. He's one of those that if John Mahama decides, either if he loses 2023 or if he wins it, if John Mahama decides to step aside from the leadership of the party, everyone thinks that, many people, not everyone, many people think that he might not mind Joshua Alabi ascending to that position on his auspices. So Joshua Alabi is one of John Mahama's people. He was there at the event today. So yes, okay. Then my good friend and brother Kwame Wadako, of course, he's a blue blood John Mahama man as well. Kwame Wadako was, I was actually pushing for him to be running mate to President Mahama the last time, because he's a very good brain, Kwame Wadako, if you know him. He's the only person, the history of Ghana, that has been appointed to head two particularly powerful oil organizations, Tema Refinery and Boston. He did what looks like a sterling job over there. So Wadako is a good guy to have as a friend. Now, Kwame Wadako is also a John Mahama guy, you see. Is one of the strong John Mahama guys from the Ashanti region. He was present at the event as well. So that tells you that the John Mahama people are with Aseidu Nketia. President Mahama himself, of course, was not present at the event. But if you look at the conduct of the event and the presentation of it in terms of the style and the background and backdrop, it's a handiwork of Stan Dogbe and his team. They work very hard on putting these events together. They do a lot of that for President Mahama. So if you look at the Aseidu Nketia event, it looked very much like a John Mahama event. We are waiting to see what Opuso Ampofu puts up. if you want to see the contrast, look at some of the Dufo Ahoto events and look at John Mohammed's event and look at Aseidu Nketia's event. You will see that the production is very similar, you see. So it was a John Mohammed production, wasn't it? Okay, so next was Auntie Betty. Auntie Betty Moldudrisu, recently been speaking on the same side with President Mahama, brutally on the situation about the judiciary and the NDC suspicions about the judiciary. Betty Mold has echoed quite a lot of that. Even though she was John Mohammed's competitor in the 2008, 2008 race to become Professor Mills's vice president, Betty Mold came second in that race, as you all know. And so he was John Mohammed's competitor then. Later on, she was named Attorney General and later Minister for Education. She is a big fan of President Mahama, and people are thinking that when the pressure mounts on President Mahama about this running mate of Jenna Nopoko-Agyemang, and President Mahama decides that I'll shift Jenna Nopoko-Agyemang, but I still want a woman, many people think that person would be Betty Mold-Idrisu. So it's all up in the air, you see. All the speculations are not done. Betty Mold-Idrisu is yet in pole position to become the running mate of John Dramani Mahama if John Mahama were to get the NDC nomination, which is an 80% talk chance. All the bookmakers put John Mahama at an 80% chance to represent the NDC in 2024's election. But there's pressure on John Mahama to take out the running mate Jenna Nopoko-Agyemang, not to repeat her as running mate, and all of that is creating a lot of conversation in the NDC, heated conversation, I should say, and most likely it's also part of the underpinnings of this contest between Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo and Johnson Aseidu Nketia. If that were to happen, Betty Mold is in pole position to become the running mate. So she's a true John Mahama person. Now, she was also at the event today. So what is left? What more should we see to say that Johnson Aseidu Nketia is John Mahama's candidate on the ticket? On John Mohammed's ticket to remove Chairman Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. What has Ofosu-Ampofo done really wrong to be able to occasion the displeasure of all of these important people? And John Dramani Mahama, Betty Mold-Idrisu, Kwame Wadako, Joshua Alabi, and I believe I have Bevlo Latte, the National Security Advisor. What has Ofosu-Ampofo done to occasion a displeasure from all of these people, including what now looks like President John Dramani Mahama? Well, we are yet to find that out. So this is the story. Johnson Aseidu Nketia launched his event today, and all of these people were there. We showed you videos of what he said. We showed you earlier his advertisements, his PR stuff that is completely and absolutely funny. And I like to call it back. And I don't know what happened. I don't know whether the people who were prepping him, but this guy really doesn't like those things. He doesn't like standing in front of camera, take a photograph. It all showed in the advert that he made, inviting people to come at Conference Center today. Play the advert again for them to see. My friend Johnson Aseidu Nketia. Have a look at the advert. Have a look.
Fellow Akatamansonians, comrades, friends, and sympathizers of our great party, the National Democratic Congress. Here is your general, Johnson Aseidu Nketia. I picked my nomination forms to lead the party as the national chairman into victory 2024. I will be launching my campaign at the Karma Conference Center on Tuesday, 25th October at exactly 2:30 p.m. I'm inviting the leadership and members of the National Democratic Congress across the country, especially members of the National Executive Committee, members of the Regional Executive Committee, members of the Constituency Executive Committee, the Professional Forum of NDC, the cadres of the Revolution, the United Cadre Front, the Young Cadres, and the rank and file of the party, the communicators, and our foot soldiers. Don't be left out. Join the victory team. Join the history-making event at Karma Conference Center this Tuesday. Eyezu, Eyeza, Ahejobodo.
Okay, I wasn't laughing. I was just watching an advert. So what I need to say, Aseidu Nketia's team, we are going to send them an invoice because we've played the advert. Haven't we played this? We've played it. They didn't ask us to play it, but we have played it. And didn't you see it? You are a witness. So they call you to court. Did you watch Good Evening Ghana? Did you see the advert? You will be our witness. We are going to sue him. If he says he won't pay, so we are sending him an invoice. We played the advert twice today. Aseidu Nketia's people, you owe us. You didn't tell us to play, yes, but we have played it. And when we played it, people watched it. We didn't ask them to watch. They saw it. Once they saw it, they remembered that you did something at Kama Conference Center. You owe us. If you don't pay, we go to court. It's not a big fight. And all of you watching, you are witnesses. Please send us email. I'm a witness. Then we line up all our witnesses. 500 at the court. Yes, I saw the advert. It made an impression on me. It made me think Aseidu Nketia is a good man. Aseidu Nketia, you owe Good Evening Ghana and Metro TV 2 adverts. The adverts were 1 minute, something like that. Okay, so 25,000 each. So 1 minute, we played it 2 times, 25, 50,000. Please, the donation that you are getting from all the important people who came to the event today, please, we beg, come and pay us our 50,000. We have played your advert 2 times. Yes, you didn't ask us to play it, but we have played it. And when we played it, people saw it. And when they saw it, you made a good impression on them, especially with the advert, the way you say that, friends of NDC, please come, and the way you said it, you made a lot of friends. So you owe us. Aseidu Nketia, for the last time, come and pay us our 50,000. Otherwise, we go to court. Okay, we end the story at 13 minutes past 10 o'clock. We end the story to go into one of the people who says that he has studied on Aseidu Nketia very well, and he really doesn't like him. Is it the person of Kuko Anyidoho, who also told this interviewer that there's no truth in the fact that Aseidu Nketia had dismissed him from the party, because he cannot dismiss him from the party. He actually has a party card, the new party card. He has it, so he's not dismissed from the party. Here is an interview called from Kesbin FM with Kuko Anyidoho having very harsh words for General Secretary Aseidu Nketia, who is now in pole position to become the NDC's chairman for the first time. Yes, Kuko Anyidoho.
So are you in politics?
Oh, certainly. I cannot leave politics.
Oh, yeah, politics.
Oh, Master. At Tamils Institute.
In the name of which party?
NDC and the Republic of Ghana.
NDC.
Oh, Master, I have the new ID card on my Nancy.
New party, new registration on my Nancy.
I have my ID card.
Oh, ID card. Where your branch, Ben?
My branch is in Tanyigwe. My village.
What about
my holy village? Oh, Manfamba.
One farm.
Twice there. Master.
Party now almost more from 2020. You've been sent from the party. About the send our registration. Branch executives need to make sure when you register.
Why not say Pam? Aseidu Nketia. And unfortunately for him, President Mills, one of the most profound statements among many. Our catch me. I'm there you up to now. And somehow now I'm saying it. Only the Anisekoku, know them, but don't let them know that you know them. That will be your weapon for success. It was because Penyimbia Freme, senior member, at the right time I'll mention his name, he knows himself. So on himself, Koku meet the president. Koku, you are sitting down there as head of communication presidency, director of, spokesperson, blah, blah, blah. Adana watina hona, in Korea we did it. President Mills at him. By midday, I want you to issue a statement. Make sure you go after Rawlings 100%. Finish him. Finish him. Hey, I'm on standby. By midday, that statement should be issued. Me say yes, sir. Timi Kosro, Koku come in. Me call in. I'm say, so has told me to go after Rawlings because of you and the Funka thing. Say, Koku, sit down. I'm telling you today, whether I'm alive or I'm dead, never insult Rawlings. Koku is a trap. The day you insult Rawlings, those same people will run to me and come and say, have you seen what Koku has done? The only thing which will appease Rawlings is unless you sack him. Long and short, these ones, know them, but don't let them know that you know them. The day they know that you know them, they will come after you more viciously. Keep it to yourself. At the right time, they will know that you know them. And this is the right time. Master. So we've known them for years, but they just say, oh, yes, sir. Until yes, sir, no. Sebe se mamu so where Jimmy. Obian Jimmy. So I'm NDC. So Aseidu Nketia, he's one of those people.
Aseidu Nketia
he thinks that he's smarter than everybody. So all this mapam koku, it's not anything. He was thinking, say, Ochetuma, he will provoke me. That's one of his tactics. He likes to provoke. Oh, he likes to. He just does it. Oh yeah, this one also no. He will provoke you if you make a mistake and you go after him. Then he will sit and he will laugh. Because even the original, the so-called dismissal letter, the original one, my same name was even spelled wrongly. So assuming I had reacted, he will be on air. Like I got you the okra. So you say this spelling it. Sad, you know, anything. Because he thought that he would provoke me. I'll get angry. I'll say all kinds of things. Then I'll say I've resigned from the party. That's what he was looking for. So yes, and I was his deputy for 4 years. And because I was doing yes sir for 4 years. No, him say minimum. So Aseidu Nketia thinks that he can just sit down, manipulate the party constitution, do all kinds of things and get away with it. But Mimi Diane or the Apim. So for the records, nobody has dismissed. In fact, the director of legal,
okay,
Ibrahim Amaleba, yeah, he's on record to have said on some media platforms, and he's a lawyer. He understands the constitution. At least I'm not a lawyer. Aseidu Nketia is also not a lawyer. So I want to give Amaleba that legal authority over both of us.
Exactly.
And he's on record to have said that nobody,
Yes, brother.
and I repeat, nobody has dismissed Kuko Anyidoho.
And the rule of natural justice are near.
Exactly.
Right?
Fair
hearing. On your part.
And the 1992 constitution is supreme to any party constitution. And in that 1992 constitution, a man cannot be pronounced guilty until he has been given a fair hearing. So what was the fair hearing Aseidu Nketia gave me before claiming that he has sacked me? And up to now, look, I don't live too far from him. He has not been bold enough to come and give me any dismissal letter. Until the on social media, now why the public on social media so? Or you negate now. No for letter me Kuko Anyidoho my palm every party. Now the basic
but it's a party no work bemwa your application.
Thank you. Then again,
and where is it?
Exactly, it's a voluntary organization, and it's ridiculous that somebody said and then the dumb a House of Folk and the Arsenal. Now Arsenal, chief executive Arsenal baby say, "Wa pam me free Arsenal, so I can't support Arsenal again." Kofi Ayobeka na say, "What be that?" I see. It's ridiculous. But this is coming from a man who that's how he functions. He officially be to me bobia kwasia, obe to me asumfidia ma obia manatom, and ni oye kukukuku so pe chairman edi by bedru 2014 when we were going to the Kumasi Congress. People wanted me to contest Aseidu Nketia. They did everything. When I asked them, and this was the beginning of this whole, all these things that are happening today. It started some time ago. Everything has a history. So when I asked them, they said, "Oh, we want to get out Kwamneje, we want to get out Aseidu Nketia, we want to get out Yao Jan, we want to get out all the pro-Mills people." I'm like, where from this pro? Mills is dead, he's gone.
Yeah.
So what is this business of wanting to get out pro-Mills people? Meanwhile, the same pro-Mills people, are they not the ones who have also helped for us to win the 2012 elections? So what is this business? Oh no, they are too powerful. We don't want them. Flagstaff House doesn't want them. I see. Anyway, so we want you to contest Aseidu Nketia. No, by that time I made up my mind, say, make a deputy. So I refused to contest Aseidu Nketia. And he knows the story.
In 2014.
2014. Of course, so they were able to get out Yao Jan, get out Kwamneje, get out other people. I refuse to contest Aseidu Nketia. So he drove to me. I've said it elsewhere, but I'm saying it again on your platform. That Aseidu Nketia drove to me, Kuko Anyidoho, at the castle where I had been left naked in my office. So Aseidu Nketia walked into my office. Now he sat down and thanked me profusely. So what it in the that was his microphone person contesting me. But Sikanyina account, but also won't. Hey, I feel the entire President Mills no power some sir. Because people like you are rare. in Ghana politics. Say sika nyina kan say be me bepa wo cho but usi won contest me. Nyankopon nhyira wo. Me call for the third time yi. Me shall bo ekantam e wo me mami wu no so. Say me call for the fourth time. Yes. Me call for the fourth time. After the third time, where me koi, I will step aside. Then you can take over because I now can trust that you are a man of integrity and a man of stature. I'm telling you, he came that time. It had never even occurred to me.
It was even like a blessing.
Like Massa, and did some deep analysis. I won't even go to the analysis as to why he believes that I will be the best person to take over as general secretary of the party. So we went to Congress and we came. I was his deputy, and so for me, I wake up to order.
And you worked with him.
I worked with him not once. Wait, check the records, not once. Until all this unnecessary fight.